Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, I just beat Rearmed. I literally just beat it. It was like 10 minutes ago. And I'm recording this like so soon after because I literally wanted to do this since like I first started learning it. But I waited until after I beat it because I think that seeing the 100% on the level kind of gives me a little bit more credibility. People will kind of believe more that I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I waited until I had 100% on the level to make this video so people will trust that I know how to beat the level. But yeah, this level was so fun to learn, but it was also the hardest to learn probably out of any level I've ever done. It was like by far the most complicated. And it's not really too difficult to do after you learn it, but like that learning process is definitely going to be the majority of your time spent on this level, and there's so many complexities to it. I mean, it's a KrmaL level, so I don't really know what you would expect. But yeah, because of all that, because of how interesting I find this level, I just wanted to kind of go through it. I'm not gonna like rebeat it or anything, but I'm just gonna kind of go through and practice, and just kind of go over everything that I learned about it and how I figured out how to do it and what was the most consistent for me. But before I even do that, I want to say that I'm not gonna have too much of my opinion in the video, although what I want to say is that a lot of what works for me might not work for you, right? So I want to recommend that when you're going for levels, especially levels like this, but it really applies to anything. Always make sure to stay curious and try to figure out things yourself, because there are a lot of different ways to do a lot of the parts in this level, and some of them might work better for you. So don't take this as like gospel. I'm just telling you, I'm kind of going to go over the basics and how I learned how to do it. So yeah, we're going to go into practice mode. And right off the bat, there's something that I want to show here. Let me find hide pause menu. Yep, here we go. I'm probably going to use that a lot. So this first jump here is super interesting. Never seen a level start like this before. It looks kind of intimidating, but it's not actually that intimidating. Because really what you can do is you can use this thing, like this purple spike here. I mean, it's not actually spike, but this is what I use as a visual indicator. I wait until my cube is just past it, and then jump, and then I just start holding, and that gets me through most of the rest of it. That'll get me okay. I was kind of hoping the other cube would be on the screen, but yeah. When you do that, your cube will land almost inside the spike, so it looks like you're just barely doing it. But honestly, it is it's really consistent. It worked for me the majority of the time. I'll show you. Boom. It is I did die there sometimes, but super consistent. And you can also just stay holding after that. See, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but nothing will work 100% of the time. You can just hold until you get here. And then, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so this next part is where it's, you're starting to see a little bit of the novelty of this level. It's definitely not the most straightforward gameplay. It's definitely very unique, but it's also not super complicated. You pretty much just want to press this blue orb as late as possible to make the setup for that a little bit easier. So, hold on, it's actually kind of tripping me out. The pause menu isn't showing. I gotta remember to turn it back on. But yeah, if you press it too early, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm literally too good at this part. I want to show you what it looks like to do it wrong. Yeah, if you press it too early, you can't make it there, and eventually, even if you make it to this blue orb, you probably won't be able to make it to this pink orb. And even if you make it to the pink orb, you probably won't make it to this platform. So you just want to press that first blue orb as late as possible. And then hold on, let me actually pause at that part. There are two ways to do this. That is the way that I found out how to do it. I don't think it's the intended way to do it, and it might not be the easiest way for you, but what you can do is you can either hit this yellow orb and this blue orb, or you can hit this blue orb and this yellow orb. So I'm gonna try and show you how to do it the other way, but I was not very consistent with doing that. Um, yeah. So the difference is there that you kind of can just hit all the orbs like as soon as you get to them, whereas with my method you have to hit this a little bit late. But then, I don't know. It just kind of works. It just kind of worked out for me. I was more consistent with that. This pink orb is like the hardest timing in this whole part, and you do have to hit this. You have to hit the pink orb no matter which way you do it. I mean, you can actually survive by hitting this yellow orb. I've seen it happen before. If you hit it like super late, you can miss the spike and like just barely land on the platform like super late. And you can recover from that, but I definitely wouldn't like recommend going for that. Like the intended way is to hit the pink orb. But in terms of these first four orbs, you can honestly hit them in like whichever order works better for you. Try out both of them and see which one works better. I'm kind of throwing right now. Okay, I'm kind of terrible. Holy shit. Okay, there we go. That's pretty much like the most complicated part of this. You have to hit this a little bit in the middle. You can hit it too late. I'm gonna show you what happens if you hit it too late. You land like on the spike there. You can also land like on the side of that block. Yeah, like that. You just kind of have to hit it in the middle, but just don't hit it too early because then you'll hit the thing. You have to hit this yellow orb a little bit late. If you hit it too early, you'll hit the ceiling. Yeah. It's really cool, like, figuring things out like that because it doesn't look like you will hit the ceiling, but yeah, you will. There's no timing for that part. So yeah, that's the first cube. Not super complicated, but, there are a little bit of tricks. This ship really has no tricks. This is by far the easiest part of the level, in my opinion. It's super straightforward. Just kind of, yeah, I honestly wish I had tricks for this part, but there's like pretty much none because it's so straightforward. This UFO part, and actually, hold on, I'm gonna go up here so I can have a better checkpoint. This UFO part, in my opinion, is the worst part of the level. It's the most inconsistent. And it just like, I mean, this first click into, I mean, there are a couple clicks that I think are kind of bad, but this first one is probably the worst offender because you go into the mirror portal, you had to make it through there. It gets like somewhat consistent, but ultimately it just you'll probably die there a couple times. So you're just gonna have to accept that. I think this UFO is the worst part of the level. It's not like terrible or anything, but yeah, it's you know don't be too mad if you end up dying here because it's expected. Yeah, that jump sucks. Anyway, so this part here. So what I do is one tab to get through there right after the mirror portal, and then I do two that are a little bit spaced out, and then I do one more. So I'm gonna show you what that kind of looks like. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Boom. And then you just land in this portal and you kind of fall a bit. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Nope, I dropped it too fast. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. Boom. And then this is kind of like a reset point. I don't really know how it works, but like every time, no matter how I went into this first portal, I always came out the same way. So that's kind of nice. I mean, I don't know if that's like exactly true, but it definitely didn't change the way that I did this next part. So yeah, it's kind of nice that this is like split into twos here. So this is the other kind of weird part of the UFO. Going up here, and then you can't. It's barely off screen right now, but this thing right here is like this is like probably the second most deadly part of this UFO, other than the mirror portal transition. But it's not that bad. Basically, all I do is I tab it twice after going into this portal, and you're going to go really close to this saw blade here. I know this isn't a saw blade, but I'm just going to call it a saw blade because I don't know what else to call it. Yeah, you're going to go really close to this object. I never actually died to this, but I did go like into the spikes a little bit. So just don't like. Don't, I guess what I'm saying is don't be scared if you're doing that because if you go like really close to it, that means you're doing it right. So yeah, I just did two tabs, cut like right by this, and then did one tab to hit the ceiling here. So it's like three taps to set up this jump, and then you can. That's how I was most effectively able to consistently do that tap. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1. So it works most of the time. It's not going to work all the time. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, it's pretty good. This next part is not too hard. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, see, it doesn't work all the time. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, not 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I never did 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually have to do 5 there. Or I think actually it's a little bit less specific at that part, what you have to do, but that's just kind of what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I don't actually like count out the fives at the second one, but I guess it ended up being 5. But yeah, when I hit this board, I pretty much just spammed until I got to like there. If you want to figure out a click pattern for it, that's probably helpful, but I just pretty much spammed and I got there most of the time. And then that's really easy. That part is really easy because you can just press it like, you see there's like slants that go down, you can just press it when you're like in between these little jutting out things. Now this duel, yeah, this duel is the hardest part, and it is going to be the hardest part to explain. It's not too bad once you figure it out, but getting it down, I mean, I spent like well over 1,000 attempts just on this part, like just learning it. It's super satisfying to get down once you learn it. Even in like segments, once you learn like one part of this and you can do it, you feel like such a badass. But definitely don't expect to be able to do that like early on. Like it's gonna take you a while to learn this part. This first part of it though is not too complicated. It gets more complicated as it goes, but pretty much it's just 3 like really quick taps, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and that's pretty much how you do this first bit. And I'm mostly just looking at the UFO here. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Now, actually, let me go back a second. This is like the hardest part of like the first half of it. I never actually looked at the ball while I was doing this. I would probably be preferable to do that, but I was always too worried that the UFO would crash up here. So I would kind of just look in like the middle of the screen, like I was kind of looking like in this area, like a little bit up, but like closer to the middle. But yeah, the timing here is really for the ball, because you have to land on like this part of the slope here, and then the UFO goes into that portal. But yeah, this part isn't like super complicated compared to the rest. Yeah, let me actually go ahead and explain like what's happening in this first part. So you do it 3 times, and then the only one of those taps actually affects the ball because it's in the air for the other ones. So you just tap 3 times the UFO and the ball's in the air. And then you tap one more time to go over the slope as the UFO and also switch gravity as the ball to go down here. So that's pretty much all that's happening there. It's not too complicated. Alright, so this part is a little bit of a choke point. Only because of the slopes. It's not actually hard to figure out. Like, it's pretty straightforward what's happening. But the slopes do make it a little bit weird because your ball can be like a little bit in the air and then it just won't go down and it'll crash into one of these. So I died here like a few times, but it's not like too difficult to figure out. You pretty much just do 5 taps. 1, 2, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you tap that. You have to hit this blue orb with both of your icons. So it'll switch gravity for both of them. 1, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. And then for this next part is pretty much just 3 even spaced out taps. Like it's not complicated at all. 1, 2, 3. Super easy. It took me a little bit to get down, but it's not like, it's pretty much the break point. Now, this part right here and the part right after it is definitely the hardest part of the duel. It took me the longest to get down and to figure out the click pattern for. There are probably multiple ways to do it. I'm just going to show what I figured out and what worked best for me. It's pretty consistent once you get it down. But there aren't too many like indicators. These hearts are like kind of like an indicator. These hearts right here, well, obviously they look pretty small right now, but they get like bigger. Yeah. So I think they like pulse to the music. But yeah, this is like the hardest part to get down, but it's not like super complicated. Basically, all I did was it was kind of like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So it was basically just in order of twos, but it was just like a little bit more spaced out. Let me show you what I mean. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Nope. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. No. Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit difficult to, to explain like while I'm doing it, but oh my god, 1 2 1 2. Yeah, this part it's gonna take you a while to get down. That's just something you're gonna have to accept. But it is super satisfying to do once you okay, look there, I did it as soon as I stopped counting out my movements. That's I did it, but yeah, it's just I didn't even do it the same way that time, but yeah, I guess that's proof that you don't have to do it the exact same way. I only tapped once at that one part of the UFO, so you might not have to type twice there. I always tap twice. Yeah, I just did an order of twos, and I think part of the reason for that was just so because it's easier to remember because it's just 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, your ball is going to be like really cutting it close these things here, so that's going to be a little bit scary, but don't worry about it because it's supposed to do that. Um, this part is pretty easy. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because I died here like multiple times. Um, yeah, this part is like it's not hard, but it's just like really stupid. Like, okay, so this part is easy because you just go in between there. You can pretty much just wait until you're at like the very edge, and then go. So it's like not too hard of a timing for these first two ones. Um, for these next one, and it's not remembering it that I was struggling with. It's just the actual timing. So you don't go through this one. Um, you have to hit it a little bit earlier because you go like that, and you see the middle spike. For these ones, there's a middle spike here, which is why you have to go through here. But for these ones, the middle spikes got moved up into here, so you go through them. You have to avoid the little spikes and the saw blades at the end. And yeah, I died there like multiple times, but it's not really hard altogether. You just do this. Yeah, not super complicated. So that's the whole duel. I realized I started it by saying that it was super complicated, and for pretty much the whole time I was just saying this isn't that complicated. Um, I guess it feels more complicated than it is once you're learning it, but I think you'll get to the point that I'm at now where it's not really too much of an issue. This next part sucks. This is the worst jump in the whole level. This part right here, it literally just goes completely black, and it's a completely blind jump. There's no visual indicator. There's no audio indicator, really. So it's just kind of remembering the timing. And what sucks the most about it is not that the timing is inconsistent, but it's really easy to mind block because when you start thinking about it too much, you just can't do it. Because like I said, there's no indicator whatsoever. You literally just have to do it enough times to where your body just remembers when to hit the button, like exactly how much time to wait. But if you're thinking about it too much, you like will not be able to do it. It's practically just a guessing game. What I recommend is if you have Mega Hack, where is it? Show hitboxes. Learn it by using show hitboxes. This part actually took me like quite a while to figure out. Like I thought this was going to be a big choke point, but it ended up getting a lot more consistent than I thought. Basically, all you do is like you jump on the edge of that, um, and there's a gravity portal here. Just like if it looks like there's like a lot of objects on screen, I mean there are, but like the vast majority of them do not mean anything, so it literally doesn't even matter. But you jump at like pretty much where the cube is at right now, and then you hit the gravity portal, which makes you fall onto here, and then you start holding when you reach this block right here. And actually, I'm gonna use speed hack for this. Yeah, just to explain it a little bit easier. So hold, press it at that orb, press that orb, and then press that last orb. And it's not incredibly hard to do once you get it down, but it was pretty tricky to get that down, mostly because of the limited visibility. But it's not that hard. Yeah, it's not that hard to do once you learn it. not too many tricks that I can tell you for that. But it's mostly buffering. There's not like too many timings. Just remember when to like start holding down the button. Yeah, this jump sucks. Don't be too upset if you die over 0. It does kind of suck because it's right after the duel, and if you get there, that means that you pass the duel to get there. And that's usually going to be like a pretty cool, like you like it's kind of the determiner of a good attempt if you end up passing the duel. And then to die like immediately after to a blind jump is a little bit annoying. So like it's not only an annoying jump, but it's like right after. It's like placed in the most annoying spot. So yeah, I kind of wish he didn't do that, but still, it's fine. It really it got a lot more consistent than I thought it would. This next part is pretty easy. There's kind of multiple ways to do this, but there's not really multiple ways to do it. I mean, it's kind of just like you have to hit these first two. I don't think there's any way to avoid doing that. This next part is what you can do multiple different ways. So I hit this orb the intended way, and when I say, by the way, when I say the intended way, I just mean that's what KrmaL did in his video of verifying it. But you can hit this orb and then hit the pink orb and the yellow orb. But what I just did is I hit this top orb here a little bit late. You can't hit it too early because you'll go into this saw blade, but you can hit it a little bit late, and then you can just skip the pink orb, and that's pretty much what I did. There, see, I hit it a little bit too early. Actually, it was a lot bit too early. Yeah, there you go. And then this part, I died to this part a little bit. This orb right here. It's not like too difficult, but it's a little bit of a choke point. You just hit this yellow orb, and then hit these three blue orbs. So this yellow orb and this pink orb don't mean anything. This blue orb is only here to make this timing a little bit harder. And it does make it a little bit hard because you do have to hit this yellow orb pretty early. Because if you don't, then you won't reach it. And even if you do reach it, you don't want to hit these two late, because then you'll end up going to the ball portal too late, and then you'll hit this spike, which is actually where I died one time. My first time passing the duel, I got 57, and it's because I died at this spike right here because I hit this yellow orb too late. So definitely don't do that. Yeah. So let me do it without speed hack now. Alright. Boom. So that ball is not that difficult to memorize. It looks like it's complete memory, but it's definitely not. It's not anything like the supersonic ball. Let me actually get a checkpoint. Okay, hold on. I want to use speed hack for this because it's kind of hard to explain like as I'm doing it. But hold on, dude. I'm actually so ass, bro. All right. So yeah, you just go like that, and you can very clearly see like when you're looking at it, like right now as it's paused, you can very clearly see where the path is. It's just kind of hard to see like while you're actually doing it. But like if you just like take the time to slow it down, like I would definitely recommend using speed hack if you can, just to figure out the path. But yeah, it's not anything complicated or anything. Like it's pretty much just like there's no timing whatsoever. You just hit blocks the moment you land on them. Hit that, boom, boom. So yeah, like it'll take a little bit to learn, I guess, but it's not as complicated as it looks because there's no timings. Yeah, and then this part, this jump right here, that's not what I want to. Whether you show hitboxes, this jump right here is a little bit weird. As you can see, there's like there's probably more space here than you think just by looking at like the actual spikes. Like hold on, like if you look at it like this, not no, I don't want it to show boxes all. What the hell? Where's okay? I don't even know where the option. But look, when you look at these spikes, it looks like there's not as much space as there is, but with the actual hitboxes, there's like quite a bit of space. So like there's more room for error at this jump than you probably think. The problem is though that there's no real indicator for when to do it. There's kind of an audio indicator, but it's not really an audio indicator. Like it's kind of hard to explain what I mean. But like you basically start holding down like right before he says it. Like he says, "You make me go." But you don't press it like when he says "you" or like when he starts saying like when you start to hear the words out of his mouth. You press it a little bit before that because what happens is the cube jumps sync to the words, like the jumps sync to the words, but the actual first click in order to make that happen doesn't sync. So it's a little bit difficult to memorize, but I only died here from 0 once. It's like it's pretty consistent. Compared to the 48 jump, I really cannot complain about this one too much. Even though it's just effectively the same thing, just like a totally blind jump, it was a lot easier to learn, a lot more consistent. And the 48 jump wasn't even that inconsistent, so yeah, it's not really that bad. So yeah, this wave, let me pass this jump so I can do it. Oh my god, let me pass the jump. Okay. Yeah, this wave looks really intimidating with like the moving objects and stuff, and it's a really cool gimmick, but it is honestly not that intimidating at all. Like you really do not have to worry at any point about this like these black outlines. You can pretty much just memorize when it moves, and it doesn't move at any like super inconvenient spots or anything like that. Like this first part, that's the only time when it actually moves in a place that like really affects you. Is like right here. And you can actually get past this corridor without pressing the button there. This is how pretty much everyone does it. This is how I did it. I find it a lot more comfortable to just press the button when it moves. It also feels a lot cooler to do it like that. But I just find it a lot more comfortable because in order to do it without doing a click there, you have to go like really close to the top here. Um, and that just does not feel comfortable like at all. It feels a lot more comfortable to just stay in the middle as much as you can, and then move to like stay in the middle as it moves. So you're always as far away from the walls as possible. But that's the only time where you actually have to like tap to avoid it. At all the other points, it like really does not like. I didn't tap to avoid it here. Okay, speed hack is actually making this a little bit harder for me, so let me turn that off. Um, yeah, there you just go down. Okay, I'm kind of throwing, kind of disproving my point as I'm saying it. Yeah, that part is like not really that bad. Once you get that first timing, the first timing where you click like as it moves, that's like probably the hardest part of that part, but it's not really like that difficult. This next part is definitely the hardest part of the wave, in my opinion. It requires the most movement. Not this part. This part's pretty easy, but like this part. Again, the only advice I can give you is just don't worry too much about the black parts. They're just there for like the gimmick and to show you like where it's gonna move, but they're not actually. It's not like just gonna move like randomly. You know what I mean? Just remember that like you know when it's gonna move if you memorize it. Don't like try to learn it as if you're gonna like predict the movement like as you're doing it. Like just learn the click pattern and just do that the same way every time. It's a little bit tricky to get down, but I never actually died. I only actually got to the wave twice, and then my first death was really stupid. So that actually shows you how consistent the entire wave is, and like not really that difficult compared to the first half of the level. The fact that I only got here twice, and my death to it was like really dumb and like not something that I would ever normally do. But yeah, this mini wave part is like super easy. If you're gonna die to the wave, you are most likely gonna die to the first half of it with the normal size wave. I died to the mini wave. Again, dumb death. Really not something that you need to worry about if you've like actually like practiced this part. But yeah, you pretty much just go down here, and then you can go down or up here, but I just go up because it's easier to remember. And then you just go up for the rest of them. So like you can go down down up up, or you can go down up up up. So I usually just go up up up. Not usually. I don't know why I said usually. I always go up up up. But yeah, this first one you have to go down because of the barrier there. Um, yeah, you just go up, avoid that spike, up, up through there. And then this last part is like entirely just memorization. It's not like actually hard to do at all. Like as you can see, there's like little blocks here that prevent you from going through there, but it's super easy to memorize. I'm going to show you how I memorized it. So it's just you go through all of them until the song goes boom, because like you can hear in the song there's like a change in the way it goes because it goes like it's kind of hard to explain using my voice, but it goes like And then when it goes burn, that means that you go over the spike, and then you don't go down to the other one. So that's how I remembered it, and it only does that twice. You just and then for that last one, yeah. And then this part is just spam. It's not difficult at all. Literally no tricks I can give you for that part. Just spam. You're probably not gonna die there. But yeah, that was pretty much the entire level. Those are all the tips and tricks that I can give. Hopefully, this is helpful to you if you're planning on doing the level. Remember, this level took me 4,300 attempts, and the vast majority of those were learning them. It probably only took me like 1,000, maybe like 1,500 from zero to beat it. The vast majority of them were spent learning it. It gets super consistent once you've learned it. So yeah. I hope this video finds you well. I hope it was helpful to anyone trying to beat this. And if you're not trying to beat this, I hope it was at least enjoyable to hear me talk about the level. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching.